Tell me this, if she didn't want you in the first place, why does she suddenly show up months later, acting like she missed you? Why do women who reject you often circle back, as if nothing ever happened? Is it love? Is it guilt? Or is it something far more complex in the female mind? The truth is, rejection isn't always the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of a strange cycle where she tests, retreats, and then returns. And if you don't understand the psychology behind this, you'll keep falling into the same trap over and over again. Today, we're going to break down why women come back after rejecting you. And trust me, the reasons aren't always romantic. Some are emotional, some are practical, and some are purely psychological. So stay with me. This is where female psychology gets really interesting. On the ego boost factor, let's be real here for many women. Attention feels like oxygen. When a man shows interest, it lights something up inside her, even if she doesn't want him romantically. His presence, his compliments, his efforts, they all build her ego. Now here's where it gets tricky. When she rejects you, it doesn't always mean she didn't enjoy the attention. It only means she didn't want to commit to you at that time. But the attention itself, that part, was addictive. So what happens when you finally stop giving it silence? Suddenly she's not hearing from you anymore. No more texts, no more likes. On her photos, no more "How was your day?" messages. At first she feels powerful for rejecting you. But later, when the silence drags on, it stings her ego, starts whispering, "Wait. Why isn't he chasing me anymore? Did I lose my charm? Was I not as important as I thought?" That's when she comes back. Not always because she wants a relationship, but because she craves the feeling of being desired again. She wants to know she still has that power over you. And if you're not careful, you'll mistake this ego-driven return for genuine interest. It's like this: imagine a child who has a toy, but throws it aside the moment someone else picks it up. Suddenly that toy becomes the most important thing in the room again. It's not about love, it's about control. Many women operate this way emotionally. They reject you when they feel safe, that you'll still be there, orbiting around them, but when you vanish, the reality of losing that ego boost makes them circle back. Here's the lesson: if she comes back only for her ego, you'll notice it. She won't offer anything new. No growth, no change. No depth, just the same patterns dressed up with sweet words. And you'll be left confused, asking yourself why she's back, but acting the same. That's why men must learn to see the difference between a woman missing you and a woman missing the way you made her feel about herself. Those two things are not the same. To the comparison effect, when a woman rejects you, it's often less about you and more about her curiosity. She thinks maybe there's someone out there better suited for me. So she explores, she entertains new options, she dates other men at first. This feels exciting. She's chasing the idea of something more thrilling, more stable, more attractive. Whatever image she has in her head. But here's where reality hits. Comparisons don't always work in her favor. Because in the process of testing other waters, she starts noticing something strange. Maybe those men don't treat her with the same patience. Maybe they don't listen the way you did. Maybe they look good on paper, but lack the small qualities that made you unique. And in that quiet space, when she's reflecting, she realizes you weren't so bad after all. That's when you'll see her reach out again. Not because she suddenly discovered new love for you, but because the comparison reminded her of your value. Think of it like this: someone eats at a 5-star restaurant and thinks they'll never crave home-cooked food again. But after weeks of polished meals, all they want is the warmth of a simple dish that feels real. That's human psychology. We only know the weight of something after putting it side by side with something else. This is why many women come back after rejecting a man. They didn't see your worth in the moment. But after being exposed to others, your presence feels irreplaceable. And here's where you must be wise. Because just because she comes back doesn't mean she's changed. Sometimes she's simply disappointed with her options. You must ask yourself, do you really want to be someone's second choice? Or do you value yourself enough to know you were worthy from the start? 3. The emotional safety net. Here's another truth many men don't want to admit. Even if she rejects you, she remembers the way you made her feel. Maybe you were the one who listened when no one else cared. Maybe you were steady when her world felt unstable. Maybe your kindness gave her a sense of safety she didn't find elsewhere, and because of that you're etched in her memory, like a place she can always return to when things go wrong. So after rejection, she might vanish. She might explore other men, other paths, but when life hits her hard, when the new guy disappoints, when loneliness creeps in, when she feels lost, guess who she remembers? You. Not because she suddenly loves you, but because you became her emotional safety net, a soft place to land when the world turns rough. It's a bittersweet role to play. On one hand, it shows your depth, your ability to nurture on the other hand. It exposes how some women take advantage of men's emotional energy. They'll push you away when they're fine, but circle back when they need comfort. Here's the image. Imagine a woman standing in the rain. She doesn't want your umbrella when the sun is out, but when the storm comes, suddenly she remembers the shelter you provided. That's why she comes back. It's not always about love. Sometimes it's about survival. This is where men often make the mistake. They think her return means she finally saw their worth. But if you look closely, it's not about your worth. It's about her need. That's why you must ask yourself, is she here for me? Or is she here because I'm her safety net when life gets tough? The answer makes all the difference. 4. Testing your strength. Rejection isn't always the end. Sometimes it's a test. Women want to see how you react under pressure. Do you break down and beg? Do you start chasing harder? Or do you remain calm, unshaken, living your life? Think about it. If every time she pushes you away, you collapse, what does that say? It shows weakness, it shows your self-worth depends on her approval. But if you hold steady, if you say okay and move on with dignity, it speaks volumes about your strength. And strength is magnetic, so after rejecting you, she might disappear just to see what happens. And when she notices that you didn't crumble, that you're still focused, still moving forward, something clicks inside her. She comes back not necessarily because she regrets the rejection, but because your reaction made her respect you. She saw you weren't desperate. You weren't needy. You were solid. This is the paradox when you stop chasing. You often attract when you let go. She feels the pull because women aren't only drawn to looks or charm. They're drawn to stability. To a man who doesn't lose himself over rejection. Picture a mountain. Storms may hit, winds may roar, but the mountain doesn't move. That's the kind of strength women test for. And if you pass, don't be surprised when she comes back suddenly curious again. 5. Fear of missing out. Sometimes rejection isn't final. It's temporary. She thinks she can do better. So she rejects you, but then time passes and she notices you're moving on. You're meeting new people, living a fuller life, maybe even finding love again. Suddenly fear creeps in. The fear of missing out. Women don't like the idea of another woman getting what they once had the chance to claim. It scratches at their pride. So even if she wasn't deeply interested, seeing you move forward without her triggers a sense of loss. It's not always about missing you. Sometimes it's about missing the role she once had in your life. This fear of missing out is powerful. It pushes her to circle back, to test if she still has a place in your world. That's why you'll see texts like, "Hey stranger," or "Just thought about you today." Simple hooks designed to see if you'll bite. But here's the catch: just because she fears missing out doesn't mean she's serious about staying. Often it's just her ego playing defense. She doesn't want to lose the idea of you, even if she never truly wanted you. It's like someone who doesn't want to buy the house, but doesn't want anyone else living in it either. So they circle back not to commit, but to keep their options alive. As a man, you must recognize this. If her return is driven by fear, not genuine desire, it won't last. And if you fall for it, you'll be stuck in a cycle that keeps repeating. 6. When she realizes you grew without her. One of the strongest reasons women come back is this growth. When she rejected you, she thought you'd remain the same. But then she sees you later, more confident, more successful, more grounded, and suddenly she feels something unexpected: regret. Human beings hate the idea of missing a chance at something valuable. So when she sees you've grown without her, it hits differently. It's not just about attraction. It's about respect. She starts thinking, did I misjudge him? Did I walk away too soon? And those questions draw her back. This is why self-improvement matters. When you take rejection as fuel, you rise, and that rise becomes magnetic. She may come back not only because of what you are now, but because she's shocked she didn't see it before. But here's the lesson: you didn't grow for her. You grew for yourself, and whether she returns or not doesn't matter. What matters is that rejection didn't break you. It built you, and that's the kind of energy women can't ignore, no matter how far they run. So when a woman rejects you and later comes back, it's rarely just about missing you. It's about ego, comparison, safety. Strength and fear, the deeper truth. Whether she comes back or not shouldn't matter as much as how you handle yourself after rejection. A man who understands his value won't wait for her return. He'll keep moving forward. And ironically, that's often the very thing that makes her come back. If this video helped you understand female psychology better, hit that like button. Subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And remember, sometimes rejection is protection, and sometimes it's just a twisted detour. Back to you either way. Stay grounded, stay strong, and never forget your worth.